Hello and welcome to another video from Truckers World. I just want to say thank you for all the subscribers who've subscribed to my channel so far. Very grateful. I'm quite taken back, to be honest. 20 up to now, and it's not a lot given the big boys out there, but you know what, I'm really grateful, so thank you. So today's video is going to be again aimed mostly at new drivers, but I would like to hope that maybe some more experienced drivers as well will learn a little bit from this as well. Some of it's basic and what you would expect, you know, but it's there anyway. So it's preparing for doing a delivery. Okay, so you've got obviously your manifest, you've got the address postcode, you might have a name of a place, you know, and then you've got to put that in your sat nav and away you go. Now it does sound fairly easy, but as you know, most of us truckers know it's not always as easy as it seems. Okay, so I'm going to run through basically what I would do when I go to new drops each time. Okay, so let's just say I'm doing general haulage or delivering steel or delivering some kind of palletized goods, for example. I've given this new address, so first thing I will do is obviously look at the name, if you do have a name, and I would look at that on Google Earth. Get Google Earth. It's absolutely worth its weight in gold. It's fantastic. What it does, it allows you to obviously see your surroundings. It's absolutely brilliant, and I've used it so many times every day. So you put in the name of the company, and that will hopefully come up on Google Earth. Okay, and when you see the name of the company, it comes up on Google Earth. Obviously, then you can go 3D image, so you can have a look around the image, and what you're looking for is obviously the entrance for the lorries. Now, sometimes, well, I'd say most times that's easy. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult because you might have a big customer car park, and sometimes you get a bit confused. You know, you might not see all the cars parked on the map, and you think, oh, is that the entrance? Is that the entrance? You might get a little bit confused. So you need to zoom in and obviously just double check where lorries are going to go into the entrance. And with 3D imagery, you can turn it round, and obviously sometimes you see the shutter doors as well. It just gives you a better idea of where you're going to be going into to make your delivery. Okay, once you're on Google Earth as well, make sure you have a street view, because that's the next best thing. I would then do street view. So I'd look on the street view where the entrance is, and just make sure the entrance is big enough. Make sure as well around the area maybe I could stop, pull over, maybe have a look in, for example. It just gives you a better idea of where you're going to. It's almost like an insight into the future. So when you go in there, you look at this image that you've already seen on Google Earth, Street View, and you think, oh yeah, I recognise that, and you're fine. And also as well, when you're driving down, it's worth sometimes taking note of maybe some other companies, other names of buildings just before you're due to stop. It's just a mental note of these little different icons that you're going to see, and you there, right, I've seen that, I know where I am now, I know what my stop's next. It just helps. Okay, so it's perfect. Google Earth, get it, it's absolutely great. Now, let's just say, for example though, that sometimes where you're delivering to might be huge. So for example, in Derby, Rolls-Royce, you might know it, it's like a village there. You'll be given a gate number, and it's like, how do I even get there? Yes, it's not great for everything. You will have to find your way on certain things like that, okay? But the postcode should give you a generalisation of the kind of area where you will be into anyway. But if you're in a big place like that, you know you're not going to have any problems with lorries anyway. It's going to be a massive place. You're going to be able to turn here, turn there, and there'll be plenty of people to ask anyway. If it doesn't come up, let's just say the name of the company doesn't come up, and there's a few times there where you might deliver to some sub-depots, depending on who you're working for, and of course, it doesn't come up, it just gives maybe this building on an industrial estate, and you're thinking, where on earth is that? So the name doesn't come up, but the postcode will. So same rules apply again. First of all, with the postcode though, it'll give you a generalisation. So obviously you're not going to know which building it is you're going to be delivering to. However, you need to then look at where you can stop, where you can park up safely, especially if you're in an Arctic. You can stop, you can get out, you can start asking people where it is and have a look around. So that's the next best thing. And again, Google Earth can show you places, especially on Street View here, where you can potentially park up. And quite often than not, when you're on the 2D image and you're having a look from the top down below, you know, you might see that an industrial area certain areas are packed with cars, so you're looking down there and you're thinking, well, you can't stop there, you're not going to be able to stop there. It gives you, again, just a little insight into the future of where you're going, if you get what I mean, and where you're likely to be able to stop. So if you can't find that building, obviously you need to be able to stop and obviously get out of the cab and have a look around and ask questions. That's the next step. Okay, so next point, let's just hope that you found that, the name of the building, and you know where you go and you can find the entrance. That's great. If you can't find it, you go for a postcode or name of the road, and again, get it on Google Earth and just make sure you can stop somewhere. So 2 things there. After that, I would then be putting that in my truck sat nav, and of course with truck sat navs, sometimes they don't get you to the precise point. If it's a really good sat nav, it will get you probably within 100 metres of it, so that's usually okay. But with the truck sat nav, what I do is I will zoom in to the finishing point where your destination is and just compare it to the Google Earth. So I'll compare each picture, and just to make sure that I'm not driving past it where I might have to go detouring round to get back round again, or it's turning me off a little bit here, a little bit there. I just make sure I compare. And if I have to alter the sat-nav a little bit, then I'm aware of that. Most times it is pretty precise, but if you are using a truck sat-nav and they are postcode only, just make sure you have a look at Google Earth Maps, zoom out with your truck sat-nav as well. Just make sure they're at the same point where you're going to be stopping, okay? Because there have been a few times where it took me past it and I can't turn around, I've got to go all the way around again, because I've kind of missed that turning. So do your homework on the sat-nav as well. In reality, you'll do this pretty quickly once you're used to it. It does seem like a long way round, but you will get used to doing this pretty quickly. Then the next thing I would probably do is I would check where the load is on my lorry. Okay, now this sounds pretty easy, but sometimes, depending on who you're working for, it might be on the left-hand side, might be on the right-hand side. If you're on to stop on the side of a road, you need to know where it's been unloaded from. A forklift might not be able to come on this side of the road if the main road's there and you're on the left and the load's on the left, and vice versa. So just have a quick look where your load is. So obviously if you are driving up to a side door and there's only a little bit of room, you're on the right side to get unloaded from. Okay, it's well worth knowing that as well, because for obvious reasons, you have a load on your right, a load on your left on the back of the wagon, and so on and so forth. And that's what I would do. Like I say, I would do Google Earth. I would check on normal Google Maps when I'm potentially comparing with the truck sat-nav map, only because it's more like the map, if you know what I mean. I don't want to confuse you too much, but you know where I'm going with that. You're just comparing, making sure you're not going to go over. And that's about it. Once you know where you're going, obviously, if you're using Google Maps, if you want to do that, that's fine. Just be aware with Google Maps that it might take you to the entrance of the building. So, for example, it might take you to the very front door of the building. It might take you to the customer car parking of the building, and the actual deliveries might go round the back. Google Maps is quite good, obviously, getting you to the right place, but it might not get you to the ideal loading part where you need to be. It'll only get you to the front door, for example. So again, you do have to double check in Google Earth where lorries need to go for deliveries. Quite important, that. Okay, and I think that's it. Obviously, once you're done, you know where you're going, you're confident, you've seen the location on Google Earth. It just takes a big burden off your mind then. You're not driving there thinking, right, where am I going now? What am I doing now? Of course, it won't find all places, and you might have to get out and have a look and obviously question. But the main thing is that you find a place where you can stop beforehand if you can. And that's the main thing. So that burden's off you. Even if you can't find the place, you can think, right, I'll stop here. I know I can stop there, or I should be able to stop in this location. I can get out. That's fine. And like I say, it just takes that big worry off your mind when you're driving there and you get into that location. You're being a bit worried because you've not seen it before. You have seen it before because you've checked it on Google Maps and you've been on Street View. So it's all good. So they're my tips. Hopefully it's not too suck eggs kind of thing, not too obvious, and hopefully you'll get something from that. If you like it, give it a like. I'm always happy to have subscribers. Any comments, any video suggestions to me that you want me to do, by all means I'll do that. I hope it's been really helpful, and keep on trucking. Thank you very much.